So, pre-season was pretty average, but now the season starts. Here we have the transfers. All of these ones were made before I joined. So we've only actually brought in 2 players, Wasim Mechmache, Mishmache, Mitchmatch. Let's go for Mitchmatch. He's 18 years old. Got him from Angers on a free. He is not going to be ready straight away by any means. He's a regional division player, but potential to be League 2. The reason I signed him, 18 determination, driven personality, could be a very good midfielder for us in the future. And then also Dylan Levitt, on loan from Man United. 3.5-star potential 5-star ability. Currently League 3 level, but potential to be Bundesliga in the future. He could be one that we keep getting back, possibly. But he comes in as the best midfielder in the club. Midfield was an issue that we had lack of strength in, really. So I thought, why not bring in some more players? So we got 2 offers in, again, for 2 Man United players. James Garner, who would be playing, currently operating at Bundesliga 2 level. He'd sit just probably in the defensive midfield spot as a deep line playmaker, or maybe further forward if we need to, alongside the other player, who is Dylan Levitt. And Angel Gomez as a winger, could potentially get him in on loan. I'm not too bothered by this. The main issue is the amount of... With James Garner, we get him on a free, no money per month, nothing. Whereas Gomez is... I'm waiting for confirmation for that, but that is that's a lot of money per month that we can't really afford at the moment. And then players on the out, only one, Anas Uim, is gone on loan to Wattenscheid. He was a player that we got in on a free. League 3 level, potentially to be Bundesliga 2, but where he was going to fit in this right side, we had quite a few players, and I don't think I'm going to play wingers that much. But Schmidt is the best player on that right-hand side. And we've also got Haider and Alvarez, and it's just a lot of competition for that one spot, and I feel like he would have been better off on loan, that's what I've decided to do. So if we quickly look at the fixtures from the friendlies that we played, 3-1 win against our under-19s, 3-0 against Wuppertal, 2-0 against Stallendorf, all wins, and then we lost to FC St. Pauli 2, who were actually the regional division, so that was a pretty bad defeat there. Willem 2, who were in the Eredivisie, we lost 2-0 to. Schweinfurt and Antwerp were both 1-1 draws. Antwerp in the Belgian Pro League, so that was quite a nice win there, or a nice draw there, especially in the 88th minute from Cisse. And then a 3-0 win over VVSB from the 3rd division of Holland, and that was a 3-0 win. So pretty comfortable. We were 3-0 up by half time, and yeah, so 1-4, drawn 2, lost 2, but the 2 that we lost, all the teams that we beat basically we should have beaten, which I'm not really sure where it puts us before this or going into this league. We are still predicted to finish bottom, even though we've signed a couple of good players. There is another player that I would like to bring in that I should have mentioned, Junior Ramos. Would be a very good midfielder, box to box, second best midfielder in the club. But he's extremely interested. It's just we couldn't really agree wages. But I will try again now that we got some other players off the wage bill and new ones on. But as we go into this first game of the season against Heidenheim, this I think is what the squad will look like. So we have Korber in goal, on loan from Hertha Berlin. Felix Agu and Haya, Van Aken and Volts. Volts, this is his first game actually. He was injured for the whole of pre-season, but he is one of our best players in our club. So I feel like he should probably start. Gunaging, who can play centre-back or defensive midfielder, and he will probably play centre-back if we bring in a defensive midfielder ahead of him. He plays as the anchorman behind Tafatofsa and Blanca. Oh, not Blanca, Blacker. And then Schmidt in the attacking role, just behind Haider and Girth as the poacher. Now, these players should be pretty good. Whether the fitness to Volts will hold us back, and Haya hasn't really played too much either, we will have to see. On the bench, we've got Konrad, Susak, Koller, who could play left back, but we decided not to risk him. The new boy Levitt, and Cisse, who scored quite a few actually during pre-season, and then a couple of just other players just to fill out the bench. Could we get 9 players, and still got quite a lot of injuries to try and deal with. So we'll just head into this game. Yep, and here we can see their lineup. I don't recognise any of their players. No, I don't think I know any of them. Obviously, I'm not a massive. I don't have a lot of knowledge about the Bundesliga 2, but by the end of this season, I will have, and hopefully I'll carry on having as we go into and hopefully stay up in this season. We are going to tell the boys, come on lads, show me what you can do. And just tell them that we have faith in them passionately. And we've got a tunnel interview to do. I thought we were going to get into the game. About to take charge of our first match as Osnabrück manager. Can you sum up the feelings on an occasion like this? A special day. Can Haya last? Haya's lacking fitness. He's good to go. Felix Agu is versatile, yeah. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife. Not sure if that's offensive, but we'll go for it. Also, the tactic that we're playing a positive, quite narrow, like possession, high passing tactic with urgent and higher lines of engagement. Sort of, I think it's pretty sure it's gegenpressing because we're in Germany, so we might as well. They've got an early start here. Corba, just going to make sure that, yeah, it's on extended highlights, that's fine. They've got the ball here. Schnatter on the edge of the box. Feck whips it in. Leitpertz and Corba doesn't keep it out. And 2 minutes in, and we are 1-0 down against Heidenheim. Not ideal. Starts with a throw in. You can see there's quite a lot of us back. It's just a ball over the top. Just does all of our players. Back post. Keeper should have saved that from the tight angle. But it's 2-1. 2-1, it's 1-0 after 2 minutes. Feck's just the guy who got the assist is just picked up a knock. They've got another free kick. And Leipertz headers in for his second goal of the game. Maybe we need to be a bit. We go down to balance. This clearly isn't working. 2 shots for them, 2 shots on target. We'll skip that. We're bottom of the table, and we're committing too many fouls. 5 already. We're not. We'll stay on feet to see if that helps anything. 5 fouls to their 1. 58% possession, but it's all them anyway. And this guy's knocks doesn't seem to be having an effect on him. Corba should have done better to keep it out. They waste a chance. So that's, I mean, it looks over here from this angle, but can't really tell from that angle. I'm assuming it was close, but obviously didn't go over the line. Corba now, up to Girth. Good ball out. Into Blacker in the middle. This is the first time we've seen us on the ball. Tartenhofer into Girth. He looked a bit offside, but linesman didn't give it. Half an hour gone. Oh, and the highlight continues. Throw in. Oh, it's behind my head. Blacker again, all the way out to Agu. Agu shoots. Oh, good save by Muller. Tips it wide for a corner. This is more like it. Corner comes in. doesn't beat the first man. Aken back out to Schmidt, who took the corner. Headed clear again. This is probably going to be the end of highlight. There we go. Another corner, this time Schmidt on the other side. Headers back out to him. He's going to put first time cross back in. Girth just headers wide. That second play from the corner could have been useful. Coming up to half time now. Our players are looking anxious. I'm going to tell them to show some passion. We're 2-0 down. We've had a nice bit of possession, like spells, but they've obviously had 6 shots. Keepers dived all over the place there. They scored, but it was offside. All of our players not playing very well, like 6.4, 6.5 ratings, as they header over the bar from a corner. And they're going to have one last highlight of this half, and they score it. And Leipertz has got a first half hat-trick in the first game of the season for Heidenheim. This isn't quite what I expected. You can see there, it's basically a carbon copy of the first goal. Apart from he headers it instead of knocks it into the back post, but still from that corner, and you can see there, they've dominated the game. We've had more possession, but they've dominated the shots. We're going to go in and say, aggressively say, I expect to see a much better showing from you. And we are also going to change some of these opposition instructions up. Leipertz has obviously needs to be tight marking and shown onto the weaker foot because he's obviously just scoring those goals. Feck needs to be shown onto weaker and needs to be pressed, otherwise he will just keep putting the crosses in. And we will see what happens in the second half. Probably, I'm not expecting much, to be honest. Oh, big ball up to Girth. Girth gets fouled on the edge of the box and Bush gets a yellow card. Now we've got a free kick right on the edge of the box. Schmidt to take it. Hits the ball. Puts a cross in. We don't get to it. Maybe the issue is that we're playing quite a narrow formation, so they're wide players. Like the wide players are having the best games. 7.6 for the left back, 9.5 for Leipertz, and 7.2 for Schnatterer. So all their wide players are actually playing very well because we don't have anyone in that attacking wide position. And they've got the ball again now. Out to Feck, the left back. We close down. Put some pressure on him to go across the pitch. And Leipertz shoots wide. We're going to make a sub here. We're going to bring on... who hasn't played well? Hyde hasn't played well. So Alvarez is going to come on as a deep line forward. And Schmidt has not played very well at all. So we're going to play Levitt. Can Levitt play that far forward? I might swap Levitt and Blacker, sorry. And just do that too. See if Levitt can have any impact in this squad as the only real first team signing that we've brought in so far. Girth slotted in by Waltz, and Girth scores for Osnabrück's first goal of the season. Benjamin Girth, assisted by the left back, who's making his first appearance for us this season. I mean, everyone is, but he didn't play in pre-season. That's a lovely ball. And Girth just slots into that far post. Keeper overcommits to that near post. And we move up to 17th position. It's not all bad. Higher now. Cross the box to Aken. Waltz again. We tried to build it up from the back, but Van Aken gives it away. And their shot doesn't count for anything. Apart from a shot off target for them. Korber now throws it out to Levitt. Puts a nice ball up to Alvarez. Blacker finds Girth. Is Girth going to go back to Levitt? Who finds Waltz. Waltz puts a ball in. Girth with the header hits the bar. And we have 4 players back, but they managed to find their attacker. 10 minutes left to go. Throw in on this left side for them. They put in a cross and it's deflected for a corner. we're going to go to a more positive positive approach as Korba saves from the corner. You're going to tell him to push forward as well. 4 minutes left. I don't think we're going to get anything back from this game, as we're into 2 minutes of added time. 15 seconds left. Ball finds all the way to their left back, I'm assuming, who's just come on for the other one. Levitt now up to Girth. Finds Volts. Can we actually maybe get a goal back? Back to Guggenegg, all the way out to Volts, but it goes out for a goal kick, and that should be that. They're taking their time, and there we go. 3-1 defeat against Osnabrück for the first game of the season. We're going to tell them... I'm not happy with the result. We were 3-0 down by half-time. Heidenheim go up to... Well, no, that's where they were before, I think, 4th. And, yeah, we'll see what the other results were. So quite a lot of teams haven't actually played yet. There's only been, 3 matches and then 2 yesterday, I think. So 5 matches. There's still quite a lot of teams that haven't played. Volts makes his Osnabrück debut, as does Aachen, Guggenegg, Levitt, Haya and Schmidt. Obviously getting promoted in real life, they obviously had a big intake, and players like Schmidt and Van Aken. Guggenhegg's not on loan. No, so Van Aken and Schmidt on loan, and Volts. Where did they sign Volts from? Duisburg, who are still in. Oh, they got relegated last year, so it's a bit of a. He stays in the second league for us. We will do this press conference off camera, and I will join you back for the next game against Sandhausen. So just before actually we go into the game against Sandhausen, James Garner has now agreed to join us on loan, which will be very useful for us, especially as we've got quite a lot of players in that defensive midfield role who are injured at the moment. He could come in and become actually quite a good player for us in the short term. We'll give him a squad number. He can have the number 24. And we would also have to register him for the squad so that he can actually play. Hopefully he can play in the next game. We'll have to look at fitness. He actually looks okay at the moment. 87, 87, so that should be fine by Saturday. Actually we play on the Friday. So it should be fine that he is now in. We get quite a lot of players in this. And yeah, Sandhausen actually drew their last game 0-0. And we are currently 15th after all of the first games have been played of this weekend. So we'll skip forward to the Friday, and I will join you guys when I get there. So it's now the Friday, and we are about to play Sandhausen. A couple of changes going into this side. Adam Susak comes in as a centre-back, replacing Haya, who's going to drop down to the bench. Volts actually got injured, so he is going to be missing, and Collar is going to be playing instead of him. James Garner, who is now signed, he is going to be replacing. Who's he replacing? Tarsenhofer, and then Alvarez is replacing one of the strikers, Haider, up front. So the stars are starting to look good, but I mean the overall shape of the team isn't amazingly great. We've got quite a few players left to come back from injury, and hopefully once we've done that, we've got a lot more squad depth, so we could try and give more players some opportunities and progress a bit further. We're going to tell them we've got nothing to lose. Sandhausen better. Well, everyone's better than us because we're predicted to finish bottom. But they are like another relegation candidate. Yeah, they'll miss a player that I don't know. Of course they will. We are in the purple, they are in the white. And we will just see what happens with this game. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping that games like these we could win. It is away from home, but we will see what happens. I have made some slight adjustments to the tactic. Instead of working into the box, we are now shooting on sight, but also hitting early crosses, which we're still not really doing, but as you can see there, shooting from sight seems to work. David Blacker with a absolute screamer in the first 5 minutes. Collar gets the ball up here, cuts inside, just lays it off to Blacker, who finds the top corner. Not sure if the keeper got a touch to that, but underside of the crossbar as well, and just sneaks over the line. And with that, we move up to 7th position. If I get the league table up here. Admittedly, like, not a lot of teams have played, but I mean, an early win in the season will not do us any harm going into a very tough season this is going to be. But hopefully it will give us something to build on for next year. Diekmeyer out to Turpitz, Engels with a header, Bubaduz, Gilson. Some of these names are like impossible to say. Gugenig with a very good tackle and ball played all the way up to Girth. Girth absolutely shanks it wide. I mean, you'd expect him to do a lot better from there. He looks complacent. He's got 14 finishing, 13 composure. It's not bad. Probably should have done better with that. Maybe we'll train one-on-ones on him. As he is, as a poacher, he's going to be in those positions quite a lot, you like to think. We're getting shots on goal, but they're too far out to be a regular threat. Well, we scored an absolute screamer, so I don't think that matters too much. And they score. Mario Engels gets a goal back for them as they score at the back post from a free kick. We'll watch it again from another angle. Yeah, the ball just misses everyone until Engels just pops it in. Again, this will take us back down to 14th, but I mean, we need to get our first point at some time. A draw wouldn't be bad away from home. Alvarez down to Schmidt. Alvarez, just a bit pinball in the box. Susak does well to head clear, and Agu comes forward with it, and that's the end of the highlight and the end of the first half. Engels pulling a goal back for them just before the half time. I mean, some of them like it, most of them like it. The two defensive guys didn't really like me saying that. Well, the guy that gave away the free kick didn't like me saying that I liked his defending, and the defensive midfielder didn't like me telling the attacking the midfielders that I liked their attacking. So I can kind of understand why they're a bit annoyed. We're going to go a bit more balanced. We've had the majority of the shots in this game, more possession as well. So we've just got to hope that we create a bit more. Garner on the edge of the box has a shot, and that's his first goal, and that's why we signed him. James Garner on his debut, assist from Blacker, and we've had two absolute screamers. Maybe the shoot on sight is definitely, well, seems to definitely be working better than working the ball into the box. And he just, same corner as Blacker scored in, and he just unleashes one into the top corner. And again, a win in this game would be very useful. Blacker now, out to Agu. Is he going to get there? He keeps it in. He does well. He wins a corner. Is anything going to come from this corner? 65 minutes on the clock. Ball comes out to Alvarez. Schmidt puts the ball back in. Girth can't get anything on it. And they counter with Frey. Out to Buaduz. All the way across. Big switch to Behrens. Switches it again to Diekmeyer, and Korber tips it over the bar. We're going to make some subs here. Girth has not been playing well, so Hyder's going to come on. He doesn't mind playing a poacher. We'll keep him out there as a poacher. Blacker and Garner are playing quite well. Schmidt's not having the greatest game, so I'm going to put Blacker in the attacking midfield spot, move him a bit further forward, and play Levitt next to his Man United teammate Garner. It wasn't intentional to get two Man United loanees, but they wanted to come, so we might as well offer. And like teams like Liverpool already loaned out players like Ben Woodburn, so we couldn't quite get him in. And whoever that defender was, Susak, left the ball short for Garner, but nothing came of that. Oh, the ball out to Agu then was beautiful, but highlight ended, and we just had a free kick that was very well saved. Herwagen with the big ball up to Levitt. Bit worried how he's the furthest player back, but yeah, they swap now, Levitt and Susak. Out to Agu, lovely ball down to Alvarez. Can he get a cross in? He does, but it's not really aimed at anyone. Guganig to Garner. Back to Levitt. Guganig, Garner. Hopefully me being English and those two players being English, they have like some good communication with each other and me, even if they don't have it too much with the rest of the team. Van Aken clears their corner, and Korber again tips over. That was a blinding shot from Torpiz. Halimi with another corner. Garner just boots clear, and Blacker's going to get onto the end of this. If he can keep it in, he just lets it go out for a throw-in. And we're seeing the throw-in. Very long highlight, this one. See what comes of it. Halimi, their corner taker. Frey, they're just playing it around in the middle. Torpiz, who we know can have good shots, out to Behrens. Oh, Korber with a very good save. Basically teleported to the other side of the goal there. But I'm not going to complain when he pulls out saves like that. Haider doesn't get to it. And it's their turn to come at us again. Engels with a very good touch there. Does an excellent job to control that and then put it in the back of the net. It's 2-2. You just see Turpiz puts the ball in. Well, he doesn't. Dijkmeyer actually puts the ball in. And Engels with a brilliant touch. The keeper probably should have come out and caught it after the touch, but he didn't. And it's 2-2. And now we're going to have to go back to a positive attitude. Got one more sub to make. Alvarez isn't playing too well. Is he the one that I want to take off? Yeah, probably. Cisse can come on. And we'll see if he can have any impact. We're going to tell them to get creative. They're inspired. Inspired enough to score or inspired enough to concede? Looks like the latter. They've got a corner now behind my head, so you'll see it in a minute. There you go. Garner heads clear, doesn't beat the first man. Engels, their goal scorer of 2 goals. And 4 minutes of added time starts now. Garner now. Played his first 90 minutes for us, so that's good for fitness, especially with the game that we've got coming up in the Cup against Augsburg. Cisse with a shot from distance. Keeper tips it wide. Corner now. Oh, manages to find its way all the way to Haider at the back post. Their keeper does well to save, and now they've got a free kick. 2 minutes towards the end. Behrens out to Halimi. I'm expecting a shot. And Engels scores. We've lost 3-2 and 3-1 in the last 2 games, and the players that have scored for them have all scored hat-tricks. Halimi just flicks the ball out to Behrens, who plays it down to Paquada, who just tucks it inside to Engels, who puts it into the near post. And that looks like it's going to be another defeat. It's been a very close game. I've liked what we've done in this game. We've had the majority of the shots, majority of possession. It's just when it's come down to it, we just haven't taken our chances. Maybe we need to look at bringing in another striker, training our strikers up to be better at one-on-ones. But that is full-time soon. We got to have one more chance, are we? No, we're not. We've got throw in. We're already 20 seconds over, 30 seconds over. Gone out to Agu. Levitt, back out to Agu. And as soon as we can get a ball across, the referee blows his whistle, and that's a 3-2 defeat. Hurts a little bit. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. Some of them are demotivated, some of them are motivated. But Ghana scores, which is great news. And that puts us... Where does it put us? Puts us 17th, but obviously all the other teams have yet to play, other than Bochum played Bielefeld, and Bielefeld actually won 2-0. So apart from that, yeah, it doesn't put us in a great position, but we'll have to see what happens in the other games next time. The next game we're actually going to bring only one game in the next episode. Is going to be the League Cup, well, not the League Cup, the German Cup game, first round home to Augsburg, which is, we've got about 9 days before that, so at least the players can rest. I did panic when I saw Friday, Sunday, but yeah, we've got a week and a bit before that, so hopefully it will be a good game against Bundesliga opposition. Have they kicked off their Bundesliga yet? They haven't kicked off their Bundesliga yet. I think that might be their first game. It normally is the first game of the season for them. Yeah, so that's their first game of the season. They've done very well in pre-season. Haven't conceded a goal yet. And that is a bit... Oh, they have. Sturm Graz scored against them. But they've still won every game. So they're not going to be an easy side to beat. So that is the end of episode 2 of the Osnabrück journey. You will find links to my Twitter and my Twitch in the description below. And like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more Football Manager content in the future. And hit the notification bell to be notified when the new videos go live. Thank you very much for watching.